Hey everybody, can you hear me okay? I hope you can. I was running a little late, a lot late actually, but it's Saturday morning. I was working on stuff, had to do my skincare. You know how that goes. It's Saturday. All right. Sorry about that, everybody, that I'm a little later today than I wanted to be. And my mom showed up. She's sitting on the across the room. So we had, I had to unlock the gate. I have to clean my glasses, but I figured I better go on and I can keep arranging. I'm over here at my desk and you don't want to see. Look, it's such a mess, but whatever. Saturday's a day for catching up and, hanging out and doing whatever, right? So that's what we've got. I hope you're having a nice Saturday. I'm having a nice Saturday. I worked on something for you this morning. And I hope you like it. Let me dry off my glasses here. Because I think that's what I'm going to work on today. I don't know. I've got, I got everything going here. So let me show you what I worked on. We're going to look at it in a little bit because I think that's what I'm going to work with today. I made you a template and a bead embroidery template. That's what I was doing this morning when I woke up at 5 and checked the emails and a new Gatsby dropped. It's on there now. So we've got a new Gatsby that I'm going to show you. I think I'm going to do some bead embroidery with the new Gatsby. And I think I might make it into like a hair thing, right? Because remember how like in the 20s, right? You always had a hair thing, right, Gwenda?
Right. And hair things are very popular.
Are they? Hair things? Are they?
Well, not around, but
like, like fascinators and stuff. Yeah.
Like
so I think I'm going to make this into a hair thing. I don't know. Cindy's saying all is possible with a bracing sip of coffee. Thank you for reminding me. My coffee's here getting cold. My mom's over there with hers. Cheers, everyone. So, that's really, Ramona, that's really kind. My mom, she's a good mom. Ramona says, Gwen, congratulations on all the good work you put into guiding Kate to be the wonder she is.
That's good. I wish that you went and give me some cheese.
Yeah. No, that's Ramona, not Margaret.
Oh, well, I
know but you want some cheese? Yeah.
I'll wait.
Maybe your son-in-law will come back.
Where did Chris go?
He went to drop off packages.
He had a big
a big bin of packages that he just
dropping
off orders. That's right. I think the butterfly hair thing, I don't know. We'll get the embroidery done and then we'll figure out what's next. I am having my I think it's 3 shots of Nespresso right here. Right here. I'm telling you, caffeine does not affect me like it doesn't make me all wired and crazy, right? It just I don't know what that says about me, but anyway, I'll do a dose of realness. I'll put my table up here too. So let me show you what I've got. Let me add my thing. Yeah, Saturday. It's just it can be chaotic and off the cuff and fun times, and it's just for us to hang out and chat and drink good coffee or tea or whatever, wherever you are, just hanging out. Fran says, Gwen, I love my journal.
Yeah, I've been working on journals.
We
actually have some
more journals?
Journals in about 2 or 3 weeks.
2 or 3 weeks. All right. Keep putting your names on the list, on the notify me when they go back in stock. So, yes. So let me show you what I got. I made this butterfly template, and the only place it is right now where you can access it is if you're watching us on the Bead Shop YouTube, okay? Because we're out on the Bead Shop Facebook page, my Kate Richburg Jewelry Educator Facebook page, the Bead Shop YouTube channel, and the Kate Richburg YouTube channel. The only place where you can find it, if you hop over to, like right now I'm live, it's Wednesday, March 15th, the Ides of March. And you can find it in the description below. I linked it. Later, I'll link it somewhere else. But for now, that's the only way you can find it. Okay. I'll put it in the newsletter probably tomorrow, so you can download it from the newsletter, and I'll put it somewhere on the website eventually. Okay. But the link is down there. Okay. So we've got that. We're going to look at that. I also wanted to show you, some of you, your packages that are coming. We made some Alfred stickers. Can you see this? I used AI and
Closer, we can't.
did a prompt there. It probably hasn't caught up yet. I did a prompt.
Oh, there we go.
To,
that is so cute.
I know my mom loves it so much, of Alfred in the bead room. So I had to go through several iterations, but this was the very best one. So we made some stickers. So those of you who've placed an order, or we shipped them out the last few days, you'll see these Alfred stickers because we just thought they were hilarious. So anyway, I wanted to show you. Yeah, the big man, he's sitting in the chair over there. It's kind of funny. Maybe we'll make something with it or something, right? Oh, did I mean March 16th? No, it's the 15th, isn't it, today?
Yes, it's the 15th.
Yeah, Margaret, I think you've got your 16th wrong. I don't know. I hope. I don't know. I don't even know what day it is. Who are you? Who are you people, and what are you doing in my computer?
Because
it is. It's AI. I'm sorry. I did it with AI. It was really fun. It was really fun to do.
Monday is the St. Patrick's Day, the 17th.
The 17th, that's right. Where I turn 38 and a half, 58 and a half. 6 months till my 59th birthday. I know, it's crazy. I also wanted to show you folks a couple things that I've been working on. I guess it wasn't last weekend. It might have been the weekend before. When did I go visit Sue? Ma, do you remember? It's first weekend of March. So I went to go visit my dear high school friend Susan. She turned 60, so we celebrated her birthday, which is crazy to think about it because we were just 15, putting on like a lot of makeup and stuff. So it was really fun. But yeah, so it was crazy to think. But we had a great time. We did some sewing. So let me show you. I promised you I'd show you what I made. Let me see if I can lift this up just a little bit. You'll see kind of my messy desk though, but that's all right. So what I did here is so I've been using Tula Pink fabrics lately. I don't know if you're into Tula Pink or if you know about Tula Pink, but she's super, she does this fabric that's super bright, which I just love. I think she's awesome. My watch is telling me to make it happen. I didn't close a ring yesterday, so my watch is telling me, make it happen today. Thanks, Apple Watch. I'm going to make it happen. Thanks for the reminder. So this is a tote bag that is still in progress. Yeah, she does these really cool, like collections of fabric. This is her latest one. It's called Untamed. And there's the interior. You can see the interior. And so what it is it's going to be a tote bag for stuff that I take to quilting. So right now, isn't it pretty? So it's still in, it's just kind of a basic tote bag pattern, one that I've made a lot. But the cool thing about it is I used actually a template. It's a company called June Taylor, and June Taylor's been around, I don't know, how long, Gwenda? Forever.
At least 50 years.
50 years, yeah.
I don't know.
And so what June Taylor does is she does quilt as you go, like templates, kind of. What she does is it's printed on batting, and you can't really see it in here, but you can see that there's batting, which for those of you who aren't in the quilt world, and I promise you, I see that Lilac Pond is saying the colors are awesome. However, I'm terrible with sewing. Lilac Pond, you just stay tuned, my friend. You just stay tuned. You never know what we're going to do on here. But this is the batting, and it's like a cotton, right? A cotton kind of wadding here, right? So this has on the batting, it's printed. The lines are printed on here. So if you were looking at the batting, you'd see a grid here, a grid here. And essentially what you do is you start at one place, like in the middle. I started somewhere in the middle here. You lay down your strip of fabric, and then you lay another strip of fabric on it, stitch it, and turn it, and keep stitching and turning, stitching and turning, stitching and turning, right? Like that. And so what you get, and then you have your backing on it as well. So what you get is this quilted thing as you sew it, right? It's already quilted. You can come back in and quilt over the top or whatever, but this is sewn down really nicely, and you can see the quilting lines here on the back. So it's a lot of fun. So the way that this is just a basic tote bag pattern. It's all in one, and the way that you sew it together creates the tote. So it's kind of fun, and I'm binding it on the edges here. It's actually really pretty easy. So if you look on June Taylor, and I'll put it on our Amazon storefront, and you can find our Amazon storefront. I'll put the exact one that I used here. I'll do it after the show, but let me grab it. The Amazon storefront is here. I have all kinds of cool stuff on our Amazon storefront. So if you're like, oh, what did Kate use? Or, you know, some of those random things that I show on here that aren't bead shop things, most of them are linked to our Amazon, and it's right here. You can see. And then, as we say, the backing fabric, this is all Tula Pink. Tula.
I'm not a big tulip pink. It's
Yeah.
not much for me.
Yeah.
But I love that.
Yeah, I like this a lot. Yeah, this lining is also from her latest drop, and it's called Untamed is the collection. And I'm sure it's in fabric stores now, right? Your local quilt store, if they carry modern quilt fabrics, probably carry it, or you can order it online. But if you look up Tula Pink, Tulapink, I really love her vibe for sure. And I love the thing about Tula when she makes her fabric, and there's a couple of other fabric designers that I really love, and someday we'll do a deep dive into the fabric designers I love, because there's so much great stuff out there. What Tula does, she hand draws all of the print for the fabric. She hand draws it, which is crazy. She color corrects it, does everything by hand, and then it goes into the computer program and stuff to get fine-tuned. But she does all of this by hand, which is amazing. She started out, I think, as a graphic designer and stuff. I watch her. I follow her Instagram.
So could I say a little thing?
Yeah, I don't know if people can hear you, but
okay.
Probably.
Can you hear me?
I think, yeah, I'm sure they can. Here's another one that I made. We'll talk about that in a second. Yeah.
I was just going to say that how sad it is about House of Fabrics.
No, Joanne's. I know, right?
But there are local quilt stores, but there's also like you said, to connect with people.
Yeah.
And it's just, you worked at, when it was House of Fabrics.
House of Fabrics. It was one of my summer jobs, or one of my first jobs. Yeah.
And it's really sad to see something
so
like
big.
Go away,
yeah.
where we could get batting and thread.
Yeah.
And all that kind of stuff.
But the beautiful thing about it, or maybe not the beautiful thing, I mean, it's terrible when a big corporation goes, I mean, they are a big company, and we love to support little companies here at Bead Shop because we are the little of the littlest. But, you probably have a quilt store close to your town or in the town near you, or there are a lot of really great small fabric stores that, you know, that sell online like we do. We're a small bead store. We sell online. It's great to patronize those small businesses. And, there is like here in Fresno, there's a fabric store called Double A Fabrics, I think it's called. I think it's called AA Fabrics. They sell bolt ends. And so they sell all kinds of stuff. Bolt ends from like cottons to upholstery to all of that. And so if you kind of look, drill down and look for fabric in your area, there's a lot of like small businesses that sell bolt ends like that, right?
It's great if you're making like
bags and
tote
stuff like
bags.
that. Yeah. And if you come to Fresno, we'll go to AA Fabrics, and we have a couple of great fabric stores here. We've got Authorized Back and Sew here in Fresno. We also have the Quilted Goat. So yeah. So see, there are other things. And who knows? We may start selling a little bit of fabric. You never know.
What?
I don't know. I may or may not.
You're not going to sell my stash, are
No,
you?
I'm not selling your stash. I may or may not have been looking into it, but I don't know. Anyone want to invest? Because anyway, that's a whole other story. But anyway, this is another Tula Pink right here. This is her Parisville that she did. And my friend Sue, she joined a bag. It was like a bag of the month club or pattern from Renaissance Ribbons, which is another place that I really love. And so she had a bunch of like leftover Tula Pink from just the bags that she made. So this is Parisville. I'm sure it's still available some places, but I love kind of this crazy ship wig kind of motif, right? And then on the other side, this is also a June Taylor bag, like a project bag. So can you see it's clear vinyl? And so we made that, and I'm going to slip my projects in it, and I just have to sew down the batting here around. So it was really fun to do. So I made this kind of really wild and lurid kind of colors here, but all Tula Pink. It's my homage to Tula. It was really fun. So that's what I've been working on lately, non-bead wise. I'll put the links to this project bag, and it comes with all the stuff. The zipper is ready to go. You've got this stuff. You've got the batting already printed with all of this stuff. Oh, cool. Karen, you met Tool at the Creative Festival. Yeah, I remember the Creative Festival back in the day. Yeah, I really love her vibe. And someone also mentioned Marcia Durst, who I also love as a fabric designer, and she does, a lot of her painting and stuff. I don't know. Being a fabric designer was one of my wish jobs. One of my jobs I would love to do. I want to do fabric design, and I want to name lipsticks. Those are the two jobs that I would like to have. But anyway, so this is ready to go, and I'll show you the finish with this. Right? Wouldn't you like to be the lipstick namer? I don't know.
No.
Oh, I think it sounds like fun. Here's my really messy table. What's that?
I'll have to think
about it, right?
Naming lipstick.
Naming lipstick.
I never thought of that.
Stop naming nuts. What's that from? One of my favorite movies. Holland Pfeffer? You stop naming nuts. If anybody knows where that's from.
Steel Magnolia?
No, it's obscure. It's not that obscure, but I'll tell you. Okay, let me get something to put down on here because this just looks terrible. Hang on, hold please. Let me get something. Because we're going to move on.
The heat on a little bit?
Oh yeah, it's on. You want me to turn it up?
Yeah.
Hang on. My mama is cold. Here. That's better. That's why Alfred's sitting in the chair. Let me get something to work on. Hang on here. Give me a sec. Let me use this grid. This will work. It's my kind of the worse for wear cutting board. But
later, when you're deeply into stitching and there's a bit of a pause or whatever, I'll tell the story
oh no,
about you and Susan and David
no, please don't tell any no stories.
going to the Shakespeare Festival.
No stories. She's gonna start telling that story anyway. Right? No, please do not. I have to hold my head up. Whoops, I have to hold my head up in this place. My mom loves to tell stories about when I was a crazy teenager. We had a lot of fun, though. We did.
We did.
We did. We had a lot of fun. Okay, so let's take a look at what I've got in front of me. Oh, here's my list of things I need. This. All right. Let me first show you the Gatsby mix and the pearl mix. Let me check and see where we are with them. They launched today at 8 a.m. Pacific time. I thought that was a little more of a decent hour than midnight. I know that sometimes we launch our new products at midnight, but I feel like that's kind of early. So I launched them at 8 a.m. So, and I think everybody saw that in the newsletter. Oh, we're doing good. We've got one of these left. One freshwater pearl mix. That's it. We have one left. So if you want it, hop over there, put it in your cart and check out. If you have a pearl mix in your cart and it's sitting there, it's not going to be there. So you've got to jump in and grab it. These guys, I made a ton of this, so we've got plenty of this left. So hopefully this Gatsby 2 mix will last more than a day like it did last time. Let me show you. The pearl mix was really fun to make. I have been tossing freshwater pearls in a bin for like the past few weeks. Things that I find like, like low, a few strands of things that I have, other stuff, and I kept tossing them in a bin. And I just made it into a mix. It was really fun. And so I wanted to show you, let me get a little tighter in here.
I think you were a bit weepy when you were cutting them apart.
Was I, these pearls? Well, because I didn't want to give them up because they were mine. But they are fun. I really love them. And you saw the big pearl mix. You were here when I was making it, huh?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I kept finding pearls. I'm all, oh, this can go in the mix. So essentially, this is one bag of the mix, and I put an 8/0 in between it. Oh, no, an 11/0 in between it. So this gives me about 40 inches. But you can do obviously, you can do whatever you want with the pearl mix here. I'll have more pearl mixes for you. I just hadn't done one in a while. And this really is with like random stuff that thankfully all the random stuff that I had kind of went together. And there's some like big pearls in here, smaller pearls, whatever. So that's there. So I'm really, really happy with it. And there'll be more, I promise you. So if it sells out, and it's probably, yep, someone took my advice and checked out. So this has sold out, but I promise you I will get some more. And that pearl mix made a lot. But I have some more pearls stashed away. So don't worry. Put yourself on the notification so I know that if you want one. And there's always more pearl mixes up my sleeve for sure. So I'll move this out of the way. Let's take a look at the Gatsby mix. This I have a ton of it because a lot of you wrote in and said, I guess I just need 3. and said, Kate, I want this. Why isn't there more Gatsby mix? So I thought I'd make another Gatsby mix, very creatively titled Gatsby 2. Right? I'm all, what am I going to call it? I'll just call it Gatsby 2. But what this has, so I got all of the random things in blue that I had, including, Miranda and I went to our storage, and I still have stuff in storage back from Bedissimo days, including like random bins that have some seed beads and things in it, but not a lot of stuff, right? So I used some of the old seed beads and stuff that I had. Whoops, there that goes. From Bedissimo days. I had some vintage stuff also in here, and this is three of them, right? So one tube is about this many beads, and they're all kind of randomly, scooped. But let me see if I can pick these out. In these, you're going to get some Austrian crystal Swarovski. Look at that one. Look at that Aranite. It's in there. What's in here? There's some more Austrian crystal. There's some, like, look at that that cube. And there are freshwater pearls. Look, here's an Austrian crystal. They're not all going to have the same thing because they were random scoops. So grab a couple so you get a really good mix. Here's another one. Let me grab that. Look at these. I don't know. You can't really see it, so I'll get it. Hang on. Let me go here. Let me close that out. I had, back in the day when I used to teach for Swarovski, look at, these are freshwater pearls right here. I used to teach in Tucson for the big Swarovski show. It was so fun. And we would teach classes, and they would send you all the crystal for the classes, right? To make your kits out of. They'd provide everything. And it was so fun because they'd send you a giant box of just Swarovski. And so that's what a lot of the crystal that's in this mix is from those classes that I taught. But get yourself a couple of tubes. See, look, here we go. That has that Aranite and that one here. So it was fun. So grab yourself a couple of mixes and you'll have a good kind of representation. There's a whole bunch of random stuff in here. But again, it's like Gatsby 1, only in blues. It's got some little tiny hematites, little 15s. It's got freshwater pearls, a bunch of freshwater pearls in there. So it was really fun to make. So here it is, Gatsby 2, very cleverly named. And I really love the emerald green and blue color for sure. And I thought, when I was thinking about what I was going to do with it, I thought about making another bracelet like I did with with Gatsby 1, which I thought was sitting here, but I don't know where it is. But the big bangle bracelet that I think would look great with it. But I thought this would also look great as a pin, or as, doing some kind of motif with it. Last week we did this butterfly. And if you haven't grabbed this project page yet, where I did that butterfly piece, I'm still working on it. It's a little bit of slow going. So of course I'm going to start another project, but it's getting there, right? This brick stitch one here. And I thought about this brick stitch, maybe doing some embellishing on the top of it too, maybe. I don't know, because this wants to become a patch. So I need to get to finishing this too. But let's start something else in the winged realm. Okay. Let me put this over here. So I made you this butterfly and moth templates. And what I did was, how I made it was, I got some copyright free clip art, right? I took it, I put it into, I don't know, Photoshop, I think. And I kind of cleaned everything up so it was a little easier to follow. Okay. And Emily has taught us about, transferring the bead embroidery template and stuff like this. We've got a bunch of bead embroidery stuff on the website that Emily has guided us towards. So it's really fun. So, oh, and Christine, this is a great tip. Coloring books are a great source for templates. That's great. Really good tip. Love. And I want to say hi, Bev. Bev, it's our first time chatting on a live. We're so glad that you're here. Thank you so much for commenting on that. And I like these two sizes too. I made one a little bigger, one a little bit smaller. So you can decide. So the size of these, just so you kind of know, this is a regular 8x10 piece of paper. And so what I've got here is kind of, let's go wing to wing. This is about 4 inches across. So that one's a little bit bigger. This one's a little bit smaller, about 3 inches across, right? So you could make them in pairs, a large and a small. So I don't know how I'm going to use this. You're going to see, we're going to discover this together. I think I'm going to use this Gatsby mix to fill things in. And then I'm going to outline, I don't know, with some seed beads, maybe just black. I had a tube of just plain old black seed beads, 401, I think. Are they in here? I had them here a second ago. Here it is. These are the matte black. 401F is what I have there. So, first, let's figure out what we're going to transfer this onto. Okay. I brought a couple of transfer things. Emily has shown us in the past what she does is she cuts out the piece, she colors on the back of it, and then she outlines it to transfer, right? With just like, she colors on the back of it with just a regular pencil. And you can see on her last video, her bead embroidery and video that she did with us, she shows how to do that. And she'll be here for the second part. It's coming up in 2 weeks, next week. I have to check the schedule. And these smaller ones, they would look good, I think, on a bracelet too, right? And so I tried to size it so it would fit on this, the smaller ones on this ultra suede, and it would work. Okay. So what I think I'm going to do though is I'm going to transfer this. I dug into my stash of just sewing stuff, and I just got some tracing paper. I'll have to put this on our Amazon storefront because I'm sure there's some there. This usually you use with a tracing wheel, but I'm going to see if it works. This has been used quite a bit with the tracing wheel, but let me see. And I also grabbed some felt. I don't know. You could transfer this onto anything. I'm going to try it on felt, and then I'm going to try it on the ultra suede. We'll just see, okay, what happens, because I don't know. Let me just put this, let me cut this a little bit smaller, actually, because it's kind of big. Got my scissors here. I'm just going to cut like a square of this out so it's a little bit easier to deal with. That's just felt, stiffened felt. And let me try this smaller one. So I'm going to put my tracing paper down. I'm going to put the one that I want to use, which I think is this one. I guess. I don't know. And I have like my pencil that's not super sharp. You could also use kind of like a stylus, or you can use a tracing wheel. Let's see if this is transferring. Yeah, it is. So let me really get it there. I don't know, I might need something a little bit sharper, but we'll just go with this. We'll see what it looks like. Okay. I just need to get, I'm just going to do the outline portion of this. I'm going to make those antennae a little bit longer. Let me go here. And maybe I want this wavy line. I don't know. It doesn't have to be exactly on the line. And this here. I think I'll also add these dots. Okay, let's see. Let me get, and I could make a template out of this, like out of template paper, or, you know, like at Dollar Tree, we use this for like quilting templates. You can get those really thin, what are they, cutting boards or something? Chopping boards, yeah. You can make, you know, you can put this over and outline it, you know, put something clear over it, draw over it, and then cut out like a little, you know, acrylic template or whatever.
You know what I do with those? I would make like copy you have there and glue it.
Right, glue it on that template paper, right, and then cut around it.
And then actually take the paper off.
Yeah, that's smart. Yeah. Let me zoom in a little bit tighter and let's see what this looks like. Okay.
But they're 2 in a package and I use them all the time.
Yeah. So here, there it is, like that. So I'm going to redraw over this, I think. Let me see. What pen do I want to use? Let me see what this, it doesn't show up too badly. I'm going to cover this with beads, so I'm not worried about it. I'm just using like a Sharpie. So I'm not real worried about the marks on here. And it's really thin, right? So see there how I'm getting that on here? And I can kind of follow that line. And this is felt, so it's a little furry, right? This could be on anything. I'm going to see how it transfers onto the Ultra Suede. And maybe I'll try Emily's pencil trick. But that's looking pretty good, right? That's all right. You could also use, there's pens called friction pens that are kind of, they disappear with heat. Sometimes they actually reappear, but I use those sometimes too. I'll put all of this stuff in an Amazon list. So there's that. That's not too bad, right? I think that looks good. Easy to follow. I just need some lines. I just need some guidance, right? I don't need anything to be super detailed. Let's take a look and see how this would look. Let me get another one on this. Let me use that. Where did I put that template paper? Here it is. Let me use the red. You can see how often I use this for clothing, but I think it also works with this. I'm going to try a pen this time, going over it with a pen that's a little skinnier. Let's see. Let me do that one. Let me put it vaguely in the center, I guess. I don't know. I can cut it out so I know it's on there, but I think that's... We're just going to go for it. Okay. Okay. So this is a really fine tip. This is a 0.7 tip. And this is on the Ultra Suede.
You sure can tell that Miranda works here with all the purple pens.
Right? So many purple pens. Miranda brings us pen gifts all the time. Miranda's is usually purple, mine's usually green, and Chris's is usually aqua colored.
And mine is usually black.
Black. I know I like black pens too. I like pens that are super skinny too. I like them scratchy. Some people hate that, but I love a super fine tip. Super, super fine tip. I should have checked this before I kept doing this, but we'll just throw caution to the wind and see how this looks. Now again, this is old school kind of dressmaking tracing carbon paper, right? Did any of you ever have to type with carbon?
Do they still make carbon paper?
I'm sure they do. They must make carbon paper still. I kind of outlined this a little bit funny, but I'll go in and do that. Like that right there. So here's this. Yeah, that actually transferred pretty well onto there. Let me go back down. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, I like them scratchy. 0.3. 0.3 is my favorite. Let's see here. Yeah, that doesn't look bad. Yeah, I remember I worked for really briefly when I was doing some temp work before when I was temping, and then I got that job at Apple. Then I left Apple for the bead world in '92. It's a long story, but anyway, I had this job where, you know, it was Silicon Valley, so I think it was like they made like, that doesn't look too bad, like, you know, circuit boards and stuff, right? But even though they were making circuit boards, I still had to type things up, and I had to use carbon paper in the typing, which was just crazy, right? So there we go. That doesn't look too bad. Whoops, I just threw that on the floor. Let me get a little tighter in here. Okay. Oh, I do. I love pencils. My pencil of choice is Blackwing, but I'm going to have to look up Kuratoga pencils. Yes. I love that. Yep. Carbon paper and onion skin. See, we're dating us, but you know, it's all right. Those are good memories, right? Totally. This is a great tip from Christine. Make your own carbon paper, darkest pencil, color the entire area, and then smear it with a paper towel. That's really clever. And there's your carbon paper. Love it. Let me get a little tighter in here. And you can see that transferred on there just fine. And I'm going to use this pen. I might use something lighter if I were doing this in real life, but I can kind of go over it a little bit. But I want you to see that. There's that there. I can pretty much see, though, where to follow.
I don't think you need to go over.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think this is good. But you can see, right? So there it is. So there's that one that looks like that, and that one, let me zoom out a little bit, that looks like that. Okay. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on this felt, and I'm not going to cut this out from the felt right now. But this, I might back this like we did last week. I backed it, or a few weeks ago. Take a look at the bangle class that I did, the Saturday Stitch In, where I put this over some interfacing, pinned it down, and then used it for my bead embroidery. You could do it that way. You could also do it how Emily does, with backing it with a piece of paper. But yeah, this works just fine. Looks good. But here's my piece of felt, and you can see this felt's pretty thick. Like if I'm going to use this, I think I'm going to make a hair ornament. We'll see what happens. I don't know. But I'm going to start by just, I was going to do a little bit of outlining, maybe. I don't know. Let me find I need some needles, and I need my KO, which I put here somewhere. Let me see. What happened to the KO? I was working on KO. The little spool. Here it is. I'm going to use that gray, I think. Okay. So I also grabbed a few things that I had that I've used in the past. We restocked these little roses, the aluminum roses, which I love. I thought these might look kind of nice. And this is all going to be covered, so the background color doesn't really make any difference. But I thought that these might look good. There. I also thought about doing something that was kind of vaguely, you know, they have that death's head moth kind of look to it, right? This is kind of popular right now. I could use that white one. Let me get a little tighter. Yeah, I love black wing pencils. Yes. Black wing is my favorite. I'm a big fan. Okay. So there's that. Maybe the black one. Maybe the black one is a little less like Skeletor and a little more nuanced. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to put that kind of aside. I'm going to grab a couple of pearls out of my pearl mix to use. Maybe I'll put the flowers up there and some pearls down there. Let me get my pearl mix out. And this is kind of a jumble, so I don't know even what's in here. That pearl is a nice shape for that, right? What else do I have in this? I got a couple of those. You can't really see the thing. That I think works. I'm going to stitch these in place right here. Where are you going?
I'm just standing.
Oh, okay. So let me stitch those in place, right? I'm going to go from like big elements to smaller elements, I guess. Let me get my KO. You could string with anything, but I like stringing or stitching. I like stitching with KO. Where's my, where are my threads? There they are. And I'm going to use a size 10 beading needle because that's what's sitting here. And again, this felt is fairly thick, so I don't really need to back it with anything. So you could use anything. This is kind of stiffened felt, though I've been looking into getting, which it's kind of like this. I've been looking into getting like some stitching, some backing. So I think we're going to add it, right? Okay, so let me just stitch these down. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to tie a knot in the back at the end here, clip this down. I'll take all of those off and I'll start here in the middle of this round piece like this. And then I'm going to go back down, stitch it in place. Oops. And then come up. All right. Let me get these little roses have a hole up the top of the rose, but it needs a little like tiny bead. So I'm going to grab an 11 or something small to kind of be a stopper here. So the template, Nancy, you can find the template for now. It's in the on the YouTube channel in the description. Okay, I'll put it on the website and I'll put it in tomorrow's newsletter. But you can download that template and see how I'm getting the 11-aught. It'll go right inside that rose right there. Okay, and then I'll go back up and go down. What are you looking for, Gwenda? You're just moving around?
Just moving around, looking for the mints.
Oh, they're in one of those white bins.
Okay. I'm not really looking for the mints.
Oh.
Or maybe I am.
Maybe the red bird mints. Also our favorites around here. Let's see. You could also, I think those orders might need to be stapled too. If you're looking for something to do. All right, so there's that one. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to stitch this in. I'm going to just stitch across because I'm going to back this with something. Plus, I mean, maybe if I were doing this in not on camera time, maybe I would knot that off and restart it there, but I don't know. I'm just going to go for it. So here's another blue rose. I'm going to get another small 11-aught. This is a Charlotte, I think. There's some vintage Charlottes in here. And then put that down. There's also the tiny little space heater over there too that you can put on. Okay, so that goes down. That goes in there. Let me make sure the Charlotte's in there. These little roses, they're kind of soft, so you can kind of open the center petals. And this went around the petal here, I think. This is hard to see. Hang on. I think it got caught. Let me try and uncatch it. Gosh, I can see that thread. This is tiny. Maybe I'll just leave it. There we go. There it is. I want it to go down the center. Thank you very much. I just tightened it and it tightened back around the... It's a flippin' pedal. There it goes. Hold it there and get it right inside the center of that rose. There we go. Let me come back up. This is caught on the back here, so let's make sure that's good. Let me get a little bit of a bigger...
So this is the mix?
That's the mix, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's nice, right?
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
I couldn't see it very good on the...
I know it's hard to see on the screen, but yeah, it looks good.
It's got colored pearls in it.
Yeah, the freshwater pearls in it are teal.
And it's got cubes.
Yeah, it's got everything.
It's really pretty.
I think I did a good job. Gatsby TWO.
Gatsby TWO.
Let me get that down in there. There we go. Yeah, I also found all those big boxes of Swarovski that are going to be fun. There we go. That's really in there. Can you see that? The rose beads, Linda, let me make sure. Let me show you. They're in Bead Shop Studio. I should just put them on the regular site because I think it's something we're going to always carry. But for now, let me look. Let me go to the home page. Hang on, Bead Shop. I think it's in Bead Shop Studio. And if you scroll down, I'll put the link. The thing about Bead Shop Studio is you have to keep scrolling. I need to take some of these things out because the kantha is out and stuff like that. Here they are. They're here, and the little skulls and stuff are there too. But I'll put this in the chat there. That's where they are. But go to Bead Shop Studio. Keep scrolling all the way down, all the way down. And you folks really loved the kantha. I think I'm gonna get some more of those for you. They were really fun. They would make a great tote bag. I mean, you could use them as a quilt, right? For sure. But we could also make stuff with them too, which I like. So here are these two. Now I'm going to come in and I think I am going to put this kind of skull thing on there. Why not? Let's be kind of fun. No, you hate that idea?
I hate that idea.
Oh, well. So here's this. I do also like this pearl. Maybe I'll put the pearl. Let's put the pearl on. Or the pearl stitch on. I need a smaller needle for this pearl. Well, I think that made up its mind. I can't get the pearl on. I need a size 12 needle for the pearl. So I'm just going to put this on. We'll go down, needle down. And we'll stitch it through. Let me see if it's going to sit nicely. I might need to glue it too. See how it wants to sit to the side, which is not quite what I want it to do. I think it's going to look cool, but what I need is some E6000 right there is what I need. Let me get some. Let me get my little stick. I know I have E6000 somewhere. Okay. Oh, standing up is good. I needed to stand up anyway. Let me get some. I have a little E6000 too here somewhere. Here it is. Okay. And if I put the E6000 there, it will stay where I want it to, but I'm still going to stitch through it. So here's this. I'm going to put a little bit right there. I need to kind of, this E6000 might be a little bit old. There we go. This E6000 is not quite what I'm looking for. Do you see another E6000 tube over there, Gwenda? This is an old one. Let me see. I know I've got some fresh. Hang on. I think it's in that corner. Let me look.
Yeah, I see some
Yeah.
sitting.
Yeah. Let me get it. That E6000, that's why I sell them in these small tubes, because E6000 has a tendency to dry out. And if it's just a tiny tube, it's not so catastrophic. No, I think I need to grab one. Maybe I have one behind me. I have two places where I've got glue. Let me see if it's over here. Let's see. Do you have a big bin of glue like I do? Here's some. There we go.
It's really exciting to open a new glue.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday I was working. I opened a new Fabri-Tac. Now Fabri-Tac gets really
Yeah, I love Fabri-Tac.
but a new bottle.
I know, it's like you've got a whole new lease on life.
Yep.
Agreed. There we go. That's what it should look like. And then I see some questions that I'm going to get to. Let me put this down. And then I will answer some questions. And then I'll get back to this. Let me put this down on some plastic. We put it over here. Let me put the lid on. There we go. And let me tighten this up and put that on. Okay, we're just going to let that sit there for a second. Okay. Questions. Let me see. Karen's asking, is suede more pliable than felt? Yeah, it would. So the suede, well, it depends on what kind of felt you're using. This ultra suede is very thin, right, and very flexible, right? So if I'm using this for the bangle or something, this is what I'd use to go in like that channel bangle, right? This, I want this to be a little stiffer. So I just had this. This is the backing that, those of you who got the Frida kit, this is the same felt that I used for the backing for that. But we have a new product. I should have actually done it for this. I'm trying out some of this new beading foundation stuff. It's kind of the same. Chris just heard, or Alfie just heard Chris drive up. So it's also the same. So I may get some of this in. We'll see. But this is kind of like a heavy felt. So it works out fine. But again, it's stiffer. If you liked the look of the suede and you can just stitch it on, I could have just stitched this over the top of this too, right, as the backing. And Suzette is asking, the thin tube wire. And yes, Karen said it's the French wire, the bullion wire. And we carry that. on the website as well. And we could use bullion wire for embellishing. For sure, we could cut it up and stitch it on. I might do that sometimes as well. And it's on the website. Cindy, I feel like the beading foundation is similar. I mean, it feels kind of the same. I don't know if it has other stuff in it, but it's really rigid, kind of like what this is. This might be a little stiffer, I think, even, and it's a little bit thinner, but I think it's similar.
How is that needle through?
Probably the same. Yeah, fine.
Okay.
Fine. Yeah. So let's see if this is, let me do this. Okay. So that's on there. So I think I want to put some pearls down here. Okay. But I'll put a link I'll make a link afterwards, and I'll put the link in the newsletter as well. But I'll do the link to the Amazon storefront, or I'll make a collection on Amazon. We get a little bit of, full disclosure, we get a little bit of kickback affiliate from our Amazon store. So we really appreciate, these days you have to get it where you can, my friends, right? So that affiliate link always helps us.
You know what they say? Alfie needs a new pair of shoes.
That's right, Alfie. Let's see. See, the size 10 needle, I need to find a size 12 if I'm going to put pearls on. Let me find a size 12. Carolyn is saying, and I'll grab my Frida slow stitch. Consider it making a small hanging banner with beaded edging. Any suggestions on backing? Let me grab mine that I finished. I need to grab a size 12 needle too. I've used that felt for the backing, but you could use just about anything. I have another slow stitch kit in my head that's taking shape. So I've got some vintage textiles. When I was in France, I bought some of those, and I have some other kind of fun little things for you. I need a size 12. My kingdom for a size 12 beading needle. Hang on. Got one right here. There we go. So here's the Frida. So you could use anything. I mean, look through your stash, Carolyn, and see, and just use what you feel is right. Some kind of fabric will work. If you want it stiff, you could get some more. See, here's I just glued this, I think, on the back, but I can also stitch this down. This was kind of fun. And this is it. Oh, and good, Cindy, you bought the 1-inch grid interfacing. That's awesome. Great. Love it. So yeah, whatever you feel, you could get some ultra suede to back it. You could get more felt to back it, whatever it is that you like. So yeah, this was fun. And see, I've got the pin there. But I think you'll like the next one is going to be vintage France. And speaking of vintage France, my France trip, we had a spot open up. So if you're thinking about coming to my France retreat, we've got one spot available. We can make it into 2 spots if you want to travel with a friend. And I'm going to add it back into the newsletter. But if you're interested, let me find the link here. We're going to have so much fun. It's a sewing retreat, as you probably already know. But here it is. There's the link for it. And you can see those are the dates. From June 25th to July 2nd, 2025. It's going to be, we're going to have so much fun. I can't wait. I cannot wait. So more info on that, but you can always jump over to the website. And if you have any questions, Jen and her husband Greg will answer them. But yeah, the dates. You saw the dates there, Fran. I'll put that back up real quick. There it is. And there I am. I'm standing in Dufour, and I'm wearing the top that we're going to make. I'm wearing another one today. It's going to be really fun. If you've never sewn, more power to you. Even better. My mom is making beautiful journals for everybody. It's going to be fun. We're going to have a good time. Okay. Oh, and Pellon 70. Which one's 70? Is that, what's it called? Is that Peltex?
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. But Pellon 70, any also really heavy interfacing, that will all work. Oh, and Margaret, thank you for reminding me. The coffee is also linked in the description. But I don't know. I feel kind of bad. I don't know. But you folks have been really very, very kind to do just a little supportive donation for all of our free education. So we really, really appreciate that. Let me show it here. And but it's in the description. Don't feel any pressure. But every little bit, especially if you enjoy our free education that we put out here on YouTube, that helps keep this education free. So there it is, coffee.com, beadshop.com. Okay, let me get back to this. Let me get in a little tighter here. Okay. I got a size 12 needle. I put it here like a smart person. Let me take this off. The size 12 is really what you need to go through the pearls, not a size 10. There we go. Needle that thread. Whoops, let me zoom out just a little bit. Yeah, that is Peltex. Yeah. Great. Oh, and thank you, Margaret. It does. Every little bit helps. You know, we are the smallest of small businesses, my friends, and it's not always easy, but we love it. We love it. We're going to keep doing what we do for as long as we can do it, right? So we just keep meeting the new challenges every day, like we do in anything, right? In life, you just gotta keep moving forward, right? We were talking about it. Chris was saying that it came up in his memories about our COVID shots. When we got our COVID shots, remember, Gwenda, I didn't see you for like a year. That was rough, right? We all stayed apart. We all did that. And then we got our COVID shots.
When I got my COVID shot, the first one, Stan and I went to the fairgrounds.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't stop crying.
Same.
I mean, it was like...
Same.
Oh, my God.
I know. Same. When we went, we stood in line the first day. I kept refreshing the screen at Kaiser. Refresh, you know, to get a slot. And I got one for me and I got one for Chris. And I remember we got our shots because that meant that we could come and see you and Stan.
Yes.
And we had to wait for our second one until we were fully vaccinated. But I remember when I was sitting there and the line, I think Chris and I waited like an hour to get our shot. And I remember the woman, she gave me a shot and I started crying and she goes, "Are you okay?" I said, "No, it's fine. Give me the shot. I'm just so excited." So science is real, my friends. Science is real.
It was kind of a sacred moment.
It really was. Same. And I've gotten my COVID shot religiously
now
since then.
then after that, I got several. I just drive through in my car, and
Yeah, the drive-through.
and the guy would stick the needle in,
Yeah.
and I would scream, and then I'd go, "Gotcha,
Gotcha." I know, right? It was. I'm telling you, it was. I miss the drive-through shots. I miss those. Now we have to get out and actually go get them. But yeah, Christmas, we had Zoom Christmas. Christmas, you went to your parents' house, sat outside in camp chairs and tossed gifts at each other. Yeah, it was crazy. And we lived in the Bay Areas before we moved to Fresno, but yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy, right? So here it is. So I'm just going to place some little markers in here. I'm just going to place larger things, and then we're going to fill in, right? So let me get that pearl that I had earlier. Where did I put it? Maybe I'll have to get a new pearl. Did I put it back in the pearl? There it is. Because I might put this underneath right there. I think I'm going to do that. Whoops, I'm out of frame. But yeah, thank goodness for scientists and vaccine researchers and all of that, right? It was amazing. Yeah, the COVID lockdown 5 years ago just seems so bizarre to me. Okay, back to creativity. Let's not spiral. Let's just keep moving forward. All right, so there, I'm going to put that there, right? Helen, let me put the list, and you can also find, if you go to our homepage on Bead Shop, I'm going to take a screenshot of it right here. If you, whoops, give me a second. There it is. Let me take a screenshot of it. I'll show you. It's right there under social media. Let me go back to here. I should put it in the newsletter. Let me do it here. Let me upload it, and you can see exactly where it is. And I'll take you right over to our Amazon storefront. And all of the stuff that I talk about on, especially these casual broadcasts are there. But see, there's our homepage. And if you go up to social media and you see there's YouTube, Facebook, you keep scrolling down, there's Amazon shop recommendations. Click on that link from our homepage and it'll take you to our Amazon storefront page. Okay. And then you can click. We really appreciate those purchases through our Amazon affiliate page. That really is awesome. Okay. So let's keep going. I know we just need to stay as healthy and as happy as we possibly can, my friends, right? I think I want to do some outlining, right, with this. I think I'm going to use black. Black feels like black outlines feel very Art Deco. There we go. Yeah, don't get me started on bird flu. We're just going to keep washing our hands and thinking good thoughts, right? Oh, God. That's for another day. All right, here we go. I'm going to start doing this outlining. What Emily did was she did kind of that outline stitch, right? So I'm going to do this in a series of, let's see what 4 look like. 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? Can you see? Am I in? And then I'm going to come down. I'm going to lay these down kind of with my finger right there. And then I'm going to needle down right next to, on the line, on that 4th, right? Oh, do I need to focus? Yeah, let me zoom out a little bit. Sometimes when I'm super zoomed in, it doesn't We go all the way out. Is that better? Yeah, I don't think, Carolyn, Joann's is going to stay online. We can't order online. The online ordering from Joann's has stopped too. So I think what happened was it was bought by a liquidator who liquidates companies. I think that's what has happened. Though, don't quote me on it. I'm only kind of quoting what I've kind of read. But I think it was bought by a liquidator.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's what happens. Get a little tighter. Maybe it is a little further out. There we go. Okay, so I've gone down through, I put on 4, gone through, come up, and gone through that last one, okay, for that outline stitch. So I'm going to put on, I guess, 4 more. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Bring it up to the outline, up to that next one, right? Curve it around to follow the line. Needle down right next to it. Oops. Go down. Needle up between the 3rd and 4th bead. And through that 4th bead. That was a little off the line, but that's okay. You can see I'm using a light colored thread. You may want to use a thread that matches a little bit better, but I don't really think it shows too much, honestly. And it's a little bit easier for you to see on the screen. So you just keep going around. I'm going to get some other large elements to put in here. Let me do one more outline. And then I'll kind of jump around. So slide this all the way down. That crinkling you hear means that Chris went out to forage, meaning he did a Costco run, I think. Was that a Costco run, Lovey?
Nope.
Oh, just a store run. All of your packages have been dropped off. There we go. And come up through the 3rd and 4th bead, right there on the line. Like that. There we go. Okay, so we're going to keep going with that. Let me just do a little bit of layout, just a little bit of seeing how things are going to pan out. So I like the black. So I think we'll outline. And then let's see what we've got. Let me get my tweezers. Where did my tweezers go? I had tweezers here a second ago. I really did, didn't I? Here they are. They're right in front of me. Okay. So I've got, this mix has a lot of cubes. We can throw some cubes down. And I don't think I really want to make it symmetrical. Let me just dump some mix. There we go. Right? I know it is a little Silence of the Lambs, a little Death's Head moth. But I kind of like it. Right? So if I just kind of shove some of the mix around, right, like that. So it could just get filled in kind of randomly, right? Something like that. And that's a good question, Karen. I'm not sure. So there's some good questions here. So Karen K is asking, which is easier, doing the outside outline or the inside first? I don't really, maybe it's 6 of one, half dozen of the other, right? I don't know. Same, maybe. If I do the outline first, like maybe I'll come in and I'll do this outline over here as well. And then maybe I'll kind of fill in here and then I could keep going. If I wanted an outline though, let me move this out of the way. Let's say that I wanted an outline on the interior of the piece, like this one. I'll probably come in and do this outline here, right? Interior outlines. And maybe this interior outline here and here. And then maybe exterior outlines maybe last. Does that sound right? You don't know?
I don't think so, because if you have the outside, if you have the exterior outline,
Mm-hmm.
then you don't have to worry about
Going
going
outside.
over.
Yeah, going outside. Yeah.
So
So maybe outlines first. Experiment. See what works for you, right? But it is true. This outline acts like a barrier, so I don't go outside that line. So maybe I'd do the outlines first. Whatever you think.
because then
Try
if
it
you
out.
need small beads or big beads or whatever,
Right, you can fit it all in.
Yeah.
Right, because like with the cuff, I had those lines drawn and I knew I couldn't go outside those lines because the channel would, I had to bead up next to the channel. So this is kind of like that same thing. You don't want to bead outside these outlines, and it may be easier if it has the beads there. Now, Christine's asking, on outline stitches, always the same number? Not especially, right? I'm using 4 just because 4 looked like it curved nicely here. But if I have another, like a tighter curve or something here, I might do fewer. And if I have a long one like here, maybe I'll go up to like 5, right? I don't want to get too long because then the stitch, then I might do couching like Emily showed us, do a long line and then come over and stitch over it like this, right? But with back stitch, you're taking kind of smaller bites, whatever works. And here like this kind of wavy line, maybe I'd do couching. Maybe I'd do a long line of beads and then I'd couch it, which just means taking that stitch over to kind of hold it in place. But experiment, right? Cindy's saying that she finds it easier to outline first and then fill it in. Yeah.
That would be mine.
Yeah. So play around with it and see what works. Okay. But I think doing these larger elements like this to kind of see where these fit, and then kind of playing around, like here's a bunch of these flat pearls. Maybe I would do the flat freshwater pearls, and it depends on what's in your mix. All of the mixes are going to be slightly different, right? Let me get in a little tighter. Whoops. Come on. Zoom in a little bit. There we go. There's also some drops. I think I've got one of these crystals. I don't know. It doesn't have to be symmetrical. I don't know why I'm going so symmetrical with this. But I could put a drop right at the end of like where the antenna is. Those pearls could kind of go there. But then I think like I did the bracelet, I think the beauty of that bracelet was that it was so random. Yeah, right? I mean, I think that looked really good. So putting in some symmetrical components like this maybe, and then just coming in and filling in at random, I think is going to be my jam on this. I think is the way I'm going to go. There's a little bit of E6000 there. Whoops. So I think that's going to be how it's going to go. Okay. So I guess what else do I have? I've been on, I mean, it's after 12 and I've got to have some breakfast. I need to have some more coffee. But I hope this was helpful. We'll keep going. I'm going to keep going on. Let me see if I can get my screen back here. Hang on. There we are. I'm going to keep going on this and see how this all shakes out. But I hope it's given you some ideas for trying some new bead embroidery. You'll see this template again. You'll see the template in the description down below if you're on the Bead Shop YouTube channel. Here it is. It fell on the floor like this. You can find that to kind of work on your own. And let me know what you think. I'd like to hear if this template is helpful. It was kind of fun to make. We still have Gatsby mix available. The pearls have sold out. Those went pretty quickly. But the Gatsby 2 is still available. And other stuff, right? E6000, all of that. I'll make another Amazon storefront list for the things that we talked about today. And I think that's it.
We're not going to do this all day.
No, I've got stuff to do. I've got my sewing. I've got to clean my sewing room. It's a mess. Yeah. And take a little bit of a rest today, right? So thanks for spending your morning or evening or afternoon or wherever you are, right? All over. Janice, good travels. This is a travel day for JP. And if you email us, we'll check the emails. But we'll get back to you definitely on Monday if I don't see anything, because, you know, we're taking the weekend to kind of recharge. So that's it. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. Thank you as always. Let me put up on the screen here where you can find us all over on social. Hit us up, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest. Hit that like, subscribe, and notification button on our YouTube channel. If you have questions, always email us at info@beadshop.com. And if you make anything with Bead Shop projects or products, we'd love to see it. So tag us on socials at beadshop.com or send them to us on at info@beadshop. I love seeing what you make. And I always share those with Janice and the team. So that's fantastic. So thank you all, my friends. We really appreciate you being here, and I'll see you next week on Wednesday's live broadcast. Thanks so much, everybody. Bye-bye.